going to take a little video of the Ducati here. This is the ST2 with heated grips. These are Oxford heated grips. This particular bike has had the slave cylinder and the master cylinder, I believe both replaced on the clutch. And I think they're off of a 1098. I know the brakes are off a 1098. As you can see, that's a axial Brembo. It's a different style than what the standard ones came with. And these are the convertible bar handlebars that allow you to put the handlebars anywhere you want. This little bike has 35,000 miles on it currently. See, I rode it the other day. Everything works. And everything on here is carbon fiber. So this is your cover that covers up the rubber latch so that you can get into your air filter. The cap's been changed over to the Vortex style, which just unscrews. Doesn't actually require a key. We've got the Ducati Performance Red Pack clutch, which I believe is a slipper clutch because this thing downshifts so smooth. I believe the rear masters have been changed, although I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that's different. These are Ducati designs, adjustable foot pegs. You can run them anywhere you want in a circle, so they can go up as high as about 3 inches higher than factory, and then or about an inch and a half higher, an inch and a half lower, something of that sort. Termignoni carbon fiber exhaust. There's a carbon hugger in there. It keeps junk off the shock. I believe the rear shock is still factory. I was told that something was done to it, but I've not noticed that myself. The bags have had some touch-up paint added to them. There's a little touch-up paint there, just from scuffs and chips and rocks and whatnot, but they're ultimately in pretty good shape. The front brakes off a 1098. Those aren't the same brakes that you get on a normal ST2. The calipers, I'm not sure if the rotors were changed, but it's possible, but I know the master and the calipers are different. Carbon fiber front fender, and this is one that did have a little crack here. You can kind of see it on the outside. I've repaired the carbon fiber on the inside, so it's a stiffer than new. Ducati designs headlights. Those aren't factory. They're much nicer than the factory headlights. Previous owner did like to drill holes. He had the GPS and something else attached, so there are a couple holes. I haven't replaced that yet, but we'll see if I get around to it. And then the carbon fiber uppers here. This is where the one was chipped up, and you can see I've made did a layup with carbon fiber on both sides. This is mostly a cosmetic patch. The inside is the one that's actually the structural, but it blends in quite well. And I don't know how thick that is. It's two. I believe it was 2 layers of carbon. It actually could be 3, but that's the patch. And then this was the scuff. The whole uppers have been recoated with clear coat, and that's about the worst it ever looks if you happen to look in the right light right there. Most of the time it looks like that. It's very difficult to see. The more sun there is, the harder it is. And there was, I believe, one spot down here. These are bugs from the other day. But the repair job on the carbon was very good. This was the only side that got scuffed. The rest of it has never touched the ground, and this was down once at a very low speed. But like I say, that's the most that could be taken out of that without destroying the carbon itself. And it's been re-clear coated, so under most conditions it's very difficult to see. And this one bag, this was a replacement that I got. It also had a little damage. The one before was scraped all along the whole side, so I've re-stippled this and fixed it. It's another one of those that it can be very tough to see. It seems to show up really well in the video here, but with the normal eye it's actually not that easy to see. It's a good repair. And the bags are obviously black, and I've touch-up painted some little, they're tough to see on the camera, but little rock chips just from riding the bike. Has a sergeant seat, which is pretty nice, which has storage under the seat. That's a pretty standard sergeant seat. This particular bike has the Ducati designs It's an integrated LED that goes inside this bulb, so it's got the upgraded tail light. I don't know what else there is to say. Both sides have the dual carbon fiber Termignoni exhaust cans. And I do have a rear bag that's stored away that sits right here to the large Ducati Performance trunk. And both of these and everything that I had has tour luggage, which I don't believe these came with. But it's the ST tour liners. So they're the bags that stuff inside. I even have one that goes inside this portion of the tail piece so that you can utilize that space as storage also. And this particular bike, because of the Sergeant seat, which is pretty cool, has storage underneath the seat, so you could put your tools inside this. And I think there's also, that's the factory Ducati location there. And then, like I said, that other bag actually fits inside here. I've had no need for that, but it would allow a little extra space. This is the EPROM, which has, yeah, it's all sealed up. It has the Ducati Performance full modified race exhaust chip in it. It's actually a really nice seat. There we go. Bags are back. This bike came to me with a GoPro mount. I've just left it there. Saw no reason to remove that one. I don't have a GoPro, but friends that do, and I left it there. Kind of running out of things. This was the only sticker I left on the bike. The previous owner had the converter bar sticker. There's no damage under the carbon fiber. I just figure if you spend $1,000 on handlebar risers, it's probably okay to run the sticker. Both shocks have Race Tech gold valves. If I've taken these off, they're the standard fare underneath this that you would get with an ST2 has been removed, and I do have the receipt for the gold valve, so I know that this fork has been modified. Not to mention that it just seems to work exceptionally well. And then all the lines were replaced with the stainless braided lines. So I'll go ahead and start it up. And this little GPS is a very old unit. It's about 5 years old. I'm actually going to keep that and just keep using it until it breaks. It's the second one I've had. So the bike comes with everything except the old Magellan crossover. Anyways, here we are on startup. I'll do that again because the bike does a little self-check. Kind of goes through its own diagnostics there. Apparently it's 8:24 tonight. And this bike's not been started, so I'll have to use the choke. And this choke seems to slip a little bit. Doesn't seem to need it for very long, but I do have to hold it. So I'm going to attempt to fire this up. Oh, I got to hold that choke. There she goes. Down, here's the clutch. That's a little bike. She makes a real nice sound. But she does like to run, and she seems real good at low RPMs. The only other thing would be the G2 ergonomics throttle tube. It's a number 200, which is the lightest you can get to change the curve on fuel injection. Seemed to really smooth out the low end. And then this is a throttle meister, so you can lock the throttle. It's kind of cool. Okay, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Or if you just wanted to see a pretty cool full carbon fiber Italian sport touring bike, that's what one looks like. That's a Ducati ST2. This happens to be a 2001. Marelli fuel injected with about every goodie that you can put on it on God's green earth. I don't know that there's actually anything else that could be purchased. So there you have it. Thanks.